Hi, it's Mindful Monday, and yesterday I had the privilege of gifting myself with a yes, with a signing up for participating in David White's 3 Sundays of a Road Beckoning. And what a surprise. I first had the privilege of meeting David and listening to him speak at a Selimar many years ago. And his poetry and his presence and his humanity have stayed with me always. His topic was so intensely personal to him, and it was so intensely personal to each, I'm sure, of the 3,500 people who joined with him for that journey. He shared glimpses of what it was like to be a pilgrim in life, to be constantly on a road, on a journey, and the surprise of what he encountered, and how those experiences, they framed and enriched and colored his poetry. And he also shared the poetry of others, one of whom was Mary Oliver. And he shared a poem called When Death Comes. And the closing line of the poem is, I don't want to have come to this world as a visitor. And I've been reflecting today on not only the amount and depth and richness of what he shared yesterday. And I've been reflecting on that phrase. And so I was asking myself, have I been visiting? Have I been living? Truly living, growing, and changing, and contributing, and so my takeaway from yesterday was something that I experienced in a totally different format. I didn't pilgrimage anywhere. It happened within the walls of my own home. But it was the experience of the kindness of strangers. And he talked about how in our journeys of life, those moments of connection with, quote, strangers, the moment of connection with the stranger that is ourself, how those are life-changing moments that in this journey that we call living, there are those moments when you are touched by another, not because of your relationship. They're your lover, they're your husband, they're your wife, they're your child, they're your friend. Those moments when strangers literally create, I think of that, The Crack in the Bell That Lets the Light Shine by Leonard Cohen. That those moments of kindness become a bridge where for that moment there truly is no other. There is love and grace and compassion and a sense of belonging. So today on Mindful Monday, I invite you to think about those moments. Have you experienced them? Has someone, a stranger, reached out to you to create one of those moments of connection? One of those moments where the light literally shines into your heart. A moment where there is no other. Have you ever been that bridge for someone else? When you walk down the street, do you connect with other people? Do you look them in the eye? Do you smile? Do you tell a person whose job it is to serve you, thank you? Not the automatic kind of dismissive thanks, but to look them in the eye and say thank you. I appreciate your service. I appreciate your concern. I appreciate whatever. Those moments of naming, of recognition, of seeing another person erases months of social isolation. It erases months of loneliness or years. In those moments, you give someone the gift of truly seeing them. And there is no other. Imagine a world in which we did this consciously all the time. Imagine a world in which by our conscious choices, the other began to dissolve. The other within ourselves, that stranger, that essence we don't even know. The other, the way we look at other people. Yesterday's experience and Mary Oliver's closing line about not wanting it to be a world she just came to visit really calls to me to be even more mindful, to create even more moments of contact and seeing, more bridges within myself to myself and bridges to others. What do you challenge yourself to do to create a world in which you don't just live here, you didn't just visit, you actually contribute and make a change by the very nature of who you are. Not because you wrote a book, not because you made $1 million, not because you're more beautiful than the next person, because you were able to and consciously chose to touch another. Have a wonderful evening.